In today's podcast episode, I'm going to answer your questions about starting and growing a detailing business. One of them is, what do you do when the leads slow down? This is the Detailing Business Class podcast. And welcome to a new podcast episode. This one is going to be more of a Q&A style podcast. So what I'm going to do is I have a few questions that I've received from Instagram primarily, and I'm going to queue them up here. And on one of them, I'm actually going to bring up the conversation just so I can give you more context of the problem and break down what could be happening. So we're going to cover things on marketing, on customer interaction, and kind of just a wide variety of things that you can kind of implement into your detailing business. And I do want to mention that on this Monday, August 1st, I am opening up enrollments into my online marketing course, SEO for Detailers. So first of all, what is SEO? That's search engine optimization. That's when you rank your website on the first page of Google in your local area for targeted keywords. So let's say you're in Austin, you'd want your website to come up on the first page of Google when people search for Austin car detailing, Austin headlight restoration, Austin paint correction. So that's how we've grown past $10,000 per month in our detailing business, and that's just what that's the primary topic of the training is just how to rank your website on the first page of Google in your area. That's opening up this Monday, August 1st, for a limited time. So that's a nice little segue into our first question here. And it's again, I didn't take screenshots. I just wrote down the actual question on Asana, and that's how I'm answering it. So this one was it's kind of a two-part question: is how do you get leads, and then when the leads start to slow down, what do you do to fill up the schedule again? So I'm gonna answer for one, how do you get leads? So this is literally every business problem that everyone has, right? They want to start a business. Maybe they're passionate about detailing, about roofing, construction, lawn like it doesn't matter. Whatever kind of trade, service business that you're in, everyone has the problem of how do I get more customers, right? A dentist with a dental practice, a lawyer with a law firm, a accountant with a accounting firm. Like they all have the same problem. How do we get more customers? So that never goes away. And it always goes back to the main thing of marketing, right? Marketing, marketing, marketing. How do you reach a broader audience? How do you actually attract the right quality leads into your business that will actually convert into high-paying customers or high-paying clients? Like that is the main thing that drives your business, marketing. Now, that's always just one part of the many other things that you have to do, right? It's not just, oh, well, once I get the marketing down, like my business is set for life. No, because then you still have to work on your sales skills or communication skills, the customer experience part, the actual results that you're producing for your customer or client. So marketing is a very, 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 very important part of everything, but that's still just one piece of the pie in order to have a successful, thriving business. So that's the first part. How to get leads with marketing. It's always going to come down to digital marketing, online marketing, whether it's search engine optimization, Google ads, Facebook ads, Instagram ads, TikTok ads, YouTube ads. Like it's going to come down to attracting the right audience into your business to generate leads and convert those leads into sales. Now, the second part to that is, what do you do when the leads start to slow down? Now, this one, you have to change the way you think about it. It's not, don't think about it. And this is what most business owners struggle with. Don't think tactically about marketing and leads, meaning you should never let off the gas when it comes to attracting more leads and more customers, right? So, and this is going to happen. You'll see this all the time across all businesses, all industries, to where you don't have customers, you do all the marketing, you put all the effort in, you start to get customers, you stop doing the marketing and activities because you have the customers and you're busy, and then time slow down. So then you start working on the marketing and activities again, and then it's an endless loop. You have no customers, you work on marketing, you get the customers, you get too busy to focus on marketing, you lose customers, you start working on marketing to get the customers, you get the customers, you're too busy to work on marketing, you lose the customers, you start the marketing to get the customers. That is the endless cycle of mostly all businesses. So the way I would recommend you think about it is, and it's going to be difficult, but again, this is what everyone faces, is you have to find a way to never stop working on getting more customers, because you can never have enough customers. I don't care what you're doing, you can never have enough leads coming into your business. Now, That doesn't mean you have to get overwhelmed with work. That doesn't mean you have to be booked out to the max for the next 6 months. But all I'm saying is, it's better to say there's too many customers coming in. We're booked out 2 weeks in advance. It's better to have too many customers and let most of them go versus not having any customers and always like, barely surviving to make money. So in that regard, think more strategically, like how can you have a long-term marketing plan that will consistently compound and generate leads into your business to where like you're not like, okay, I don't have any customers, let me go focus on marketing. Okay, I got customers, I'm gonna stop marketing. Okay, I don't have any customers again, let me go market. No. What kind of system can you build? What kind of plan can you put in place that you're always doing your marketing so you're always generating leads, right? And don't get me wrong, slow times are slow times, right? And depending on where you live, the winter time is just by default going to be less than summertime. It's going to happen, right? If you're in an area where there's a lot of rain, a lot of whatever, like, weather inclinations, then it's going to slow you down in some parts of the season of the year, right? You'll know that based on where you live. So there are going to be slow times regardless of what you're doing, right? And in some months, like if you're running ads, the ad spend is simply going to be higher because there's more advertisers on the platform trying to get those customers. Like that's just the nature of running a business and marketing and generating leads. But as a whole, again, not thinking technically, but strategically, long-term wise, what can you do to consistently market your business, to consistently generate quality leads, right? So that's the main one. So don't look at it of like hey, I have customers now, so I'm not marketing. Oh, I don't have any customers now. Let me go back to marketing. No. It's how do you consistently market your business to generate a consistent flow of qualified leads and sales into your business. Now, of course, my online marketing course, SEO for Detailers, is opening up this Monday. So if you are interested in that, that can definitely help you out. But regardless, it doesn't matter of SEO. It's like choose a marketing platform, a marketing channel that you can continue to work on day in, day out, week after week, month after month, so that you continue to generate leads. Okay, so hopefully that answered that one. Next question here is, I've had a lot of cancellation this month. People suck. That's what they said. People suck in all caps. What do I do? There's quite a few things that you can kind of look over as far as why people are canceling. So let me turn off my phone here. So number one is, sorry guys, here, So number one is, for one, like see why people, like if you can, ask why people are canceling or scheduling, and make sure you separate those two, right? A cancellation is different than a reschedule. If a customer comes to us and say, hey, sorry, I can't do, I can't do Tuesday anymore. Can we push it back to Thursday at 9 a.m. or can we push it back to Friday at 1 p.m.? That's not a cancellation. That's just rescheduling and moving the appointment further down, which is fine for us, right? Because I know some people don't even like doing that. Like detailers is like, bro, people have lives. Like, I'm not their most they're not prioritizing me in their life over the many other things they have going on. So if someone wants to reschedule, I'm okay with that. Now, if they're actually canceling, that's a different story. So if you can, ask why people are canceling. Sometimes, they'll just give you like a little BS answer or whatever. You can only get so much out of them, But you really want to see if, well, for one, identify, is it a cancellation or reschedule? Or if they are canceling, have you done your part to try to reschedule them? Like if they're saying, hey, I want to cancel my appointment. Hey, okay, is your time? Would you like to schedule it for, next Monday or next Friday, whatever? Like, first attempt at reschedule. And if they don't want to reschedule and they're just canceling, then try to ask, hey, like, can I just ask you out of curiosity, like, why do you want to cancel? And maybe you get some insight into that. And also, like it just, things happen in business that you just sometimes can't explain. They just kind of happen to you. But like I remember like for years, I maybe had at max, like let's say out of 5 years, I maybe had like 7 cancellations, right? Out of like 5 years. Like where someone like legitimately like just canceled, like, hey, no, I don't want it. And I forgot when it was, but like let's say sometime last year, we had like 5 cancellations in 1 week. So like for years, I never had a problem with cancellations. I never like really, unless it was like for like a correction in coding, I didn't accept deposits. Because it just cancellations were not a thing. And then all of a sudden, 1 week, I get more cancellation or equal of cancellation in 1 week than I have over the course of years, right? So, was that an anomaly? Was that like, and of course at the time, I'm like, what the heck? Why are so many people canceling? Like, what's happening? Like, we have like, employees and like, why are so many people canceling? And that week sucked because there were so many cancellations. But and then like after that, we're like, okay, we're gonna implement this cancellation policy, and if they cancel before this time, we're gonna charge them X amount. And the week after that, it went. We didn't. We like there was no more cancellations again. Like it went back to zero. So, there's gonna be anomalies where like just for whatever reason, this 1 week, this 1 month, this 1 day, this whatever, like it all comes down to like, oh, cancellations, cancellations, cancellations. And could I explain why that happened? No, not really. I mean, maybe the weather was a little sus, right? It was very cloudy and rainy, but like, other than that, there's nothing really that kind of hinted towards like why are so many people canceling. It wasn't the economy. This was after COVID, but like after the lockdown, like it was already kind of passed for the most part, I think. So it's like I couldn't really pinpoint on like why did so many people cancel. It's just it is what it is. Like it just happened. It sucked. You kind of just take the punch in the face, and we kind of moved on, and it hasn't really been a problem since then again. So yeah, so again, and then like how many cancellations is a lot, right? Like if you have 5 customers for the month and 3 of them cancel, yeah, that's a lot. But if you have 10 customers and 2 cancel, is that still a lot? I don't know. It depends on your business and your goals. So I'm not saying that like what is or what is not a lot. Just kind of try to see like the ratio between how many customers you have and the cancellation that you're getting. And then also it's like how far in advance are they canceling, right? If they're giving you like a big heads up, like, hey, like 4 or 5 days before the appointment, like you should be able to fill in that spot, right? Because again, like you as a business owner, going back to the first question that I answered, is that like, hey, you're running, you're steering the ship. You're the business owner here. You're the one in charge of the schedule. So as much as you want to whine and complain that, oh, why is this customer canceling? Well, buddy, why don't you have more leads to fill in that spot? Why aren't you doing your marketing? Why are you letting go of that marketing? In order, like, do you not have contingencies in place? Are you just hoping that there's one customer after they're in your schedule that they have to be in there now? Again, don't get me wrong. I would love that every customer that we schedule stays there 100% of the time, does not cancel, does not overschedule. They're just there. They're going to be there on time. They're going to pay. They're going to be happy, and they're going to leave a tip. Of course, I want that every single time. But the reality is that's not going to happen, right? So if you're like, why are people canceling? There are no customers. It's like, well, focus on the right things to generate more leads, to generate more quality leads, and then, hey, you probably won't have as much of a problem. You'll still have that problem. Don't get me wrong. You'll always have cancellation reschedules, but hey, it's better to have that. It's better for it to not be as big of a problem when you have an influx of quality leads of people wanting to book with you in your schedule and in your business. Okay, so on to the next one here is this one is a bit longer. I'm actually going to pull up the conversation just so I can kind of go over a few details here. But this one says, I'll just read the actual DM for a second. It says, hey, bro, if you got time, want to make a video. This is, I can't figure out why no one is booking. I have 17,000 plus views, but no appointments. I can't figure out what's wrong. And this gentleman sent me a screenshot, and it says that on their Google business profile, there is 17,300 views this month on their business profile. And I asked, did you run any ads or anything? And he said, it's a little hard to read, but it says, not this month, but I did at the start of the summer. That's why I'm consistently getting views, but no one is booking. I'm thinking because of inflation, or maybe everyone is on vacation. I think my prices are fair, and I don't want to lower them. And he says he was running ads through Google and Yelp. So on this scenario, right, he's getting 17,000 views for the month. Now, he's saying he's running ads. So that in itself, for one, I never look at Google business profile views or traffic or whatever the numbers I get. I don't look at that. What I look at first is my Google Search Console, and then Google Analytics, and then lastly would be the Google business profile. I don't take what the Google business profile says as a fact. Like I might look at it just to see if anything is like broken in there, but I don't take any of those numbers to heart. So for one, I'll say go install Google Search Console on your website. That way you can look into there, and you get much granular data in Google and Google Search Console than you do in Google Business Profile. And two, if you're running ads, this is like more. I don't look at an ad account, nothing, but I can guarantee you, if you're running ads or if you ran ads, and that's what gave you those numbers, your ads are probably so bad. And I'm not saying this like in a bad way. Please don't. I'm just being very, very direct to this scenario. Is your ads were probably done terribly wrong, right? The keyword selection, the negative keywords, the copy for the headline, the landing page headline, the layout of the website itself, how long you ran it, all that amounts to a poor ad campaign running, right, or performance. So I can only say, because I didn't look at all the details of the ad campaign and all that. Like, I don't know any of that. But what I can probably guarantee you is your ad campaign was probably set up pretty poorly, and from day one, it had very, very terrible performance because you didn't optimize it correctly. So, and that kind of goes the same way to like Instagram and TikTok and YouTube, to where, like, if you're posting on TikTok or posting on Instagram and you're getting, like, let's say 2,000, 5,000, 10,000 views per video that you post on TikTok or Instagram Reels, a large majority of that are views outside of your area. So if you get a video on whatever, it doesn't matter, Instagram, right? An Instagram Reel with 10,000 views, and you're like, okay, well, I got 10,000 views. Why aren't people booking? It's like, well, the reality is probably 9,940 and 60 views were not even that. I would say 9,995 of those views were outside of your area, like out of your city. So only, let's say, right, 5 of those views were actually in your area. So it's like, just because there are views means nothing, right? Like, just because this individual has 17,000 views on his Google business profile, it doesn't mean anything, right? What if you didn't set up your targeting correctly in Google Ads, what if most of those views are from out of state, are from like a city, like whatever, 57, 60 miles away from you, right? Like, there's probably a lot of other unanswered questions about why you're getting poor results from your ad campaign. So, all in all, it's probably your ad campaign, as far as how you optimize it and such. Okay, so next question here is, how did you know you were ready to venture out on your own when you got started? So this one is always like it's always going to be a very, very, very unique answer to each person as far as the actual progress that they did. But typically it comes out to be the same as far as when someone decided. Usually it's like when you're overworked, you have too many customers, you have no life, you're spent all day in the field, and you want to get through more customers. That's typically when you actually hire someone. That's you'll hear that across the board for mostly everyone. Now, when specifically you're ready for it, it's going to be very dependent, because, like, okay, how much money are you making? Do you have another full-time job? Is this your side income? How much revenue do you want to make per month, and what timeline, and like what's your grit level of, like, actually hiring someone, and like okay, never mind. They're not asking about employees. I started venturing out to another question. So when did I know when I was ready to go out on my own? Okay, so yeah, so even then it's the same thing of, like, everyone's lifestyle is going to be different, right? Like, if you have a family with a kid and a mortgage and 2 vehicle notes and, a dog, and your kids go to school, that's a different story of when someone can go on their own versus the 23-year-old that is single, no kids, lives at home with no car payment, no serious, bills, and they want to do their own thing. Like, those are completely different, lifestyles that they have. So it's going to be very dependent per person, right? So, like, for me, again, not even for me, like, to even think about going on your own, you need to have your marketing in place, because you need to have leads come in, right? That's, again, going back to the first question, is your biggest problem is, do you have enough leads to convert to customers that are paying you money to cover your lifestyle, right? Like, how many customers do you need if your lifestyle demands, $4,000 per month from you, right? And how many customers do you need if your lifestyle demands, $6,000 from you? Like, how many customers is that? What price point is that? What's the average ticket price per customer that you service? So these are the things you have to figure out. So, it's like, I don't want to just, like, say how I did it, just because, like, it doesn't matter how I did it. It's like how you're gonna figure out with your, like, if I tell you, well, for one, for sure, is like, I definitely wanted to cut out all my debt at the time. So at the time, before I even thought about going on my own, I was for sure $10,000 in debt with, like, dumb loans of, like, a credit card for whatever, like, it wasn't like not tuition or anything, but like, for me, that's one thing that I for sure wanted to knock out was the debt. And then just to, like, I wanted to make sure I had a steady stream of quality leads coming in. Like, that's a big deal. Like, that although it's not the end all be all, because there's a lot of things that go into, like, running a business, but it's like, if you have, 5 people calling you on a daily basis saying, hey, I want your services, that puts you in a different scenario, in a different situation than if you have no phone calls per day or no phone calls per week or 2 phone calls per week, right? Who's in a better situation? Someone that gets 5 calls per day from quality leads versus someone that gets 1 call per day from a crappy lead. Like those are 2 different scenarios that you're looking at that have complete different outcomes. So that's kind of that's probably like you want to think about like leaving your job, like solve that problem, get to that point, and that makes life much easier. Most people want to first quit their job and then figure out the leads, but then they have no money and then they have to go get another job. Whereas maybe keep your full-time job, get your phone ringing, even if you can't service any of them, get your phone ringing, and then if at whatever point makes sense for you to quit your job, you already have that big old line of customers wanting to book with you. I don't know what my hand was out here so far. Yeah, so hopefully that helped. So this question here is actually I'll skip this one, and it says I recently ran into a problem where I was charging a customer more because they have a Ferrari, and he feels that he shouldn't be paying more because it's a small car, and he feels that I'm taking advantage just because it's an exotic car. What's the best way to explain why it costs more, or how would you handle this situation? Okay, so here's the thing when it comes to pricing, okay? You always price your services based on the condition of the vehicle, the size of the vehicle, the services that you're performing, and then the customer's expectations, right? At no point did I say the make and model of the vehicle, right? So based on the condition of the vehicle, the size of the vehicle, the services you're performing, and the customer's expectations. So if you in your head, and again, this is how I do it, how I think about it. I'm not right, I'm not wrong, this is how we do it. But if you look at a vehicle and you say, oh, it's a Ferrari, I can charge more because it's a Ferrari, that doesn't really fly by me, right? Because if it's again, I'm not saying it doesn't take more work to be careful around a Ferrari versus a Corolla. I'm not, there's still some differences out there, right? Like obviously the Ferrari has some ginormous wheels versus a Corolla that probably has some like hubcaps on, right? So do we charge differently if we're washing a Corolla versus washing a Ferrari? Probably a little bit, but not because because the Ferrari, like no, because we're actually going to take more time on the Ferrari because of the wheels, because of the curvature, because of the exhaust, because of the glass, like whatever. Like there's an actual we actually take more time on here because although it's a small car, there's a lot of like curvature to it. The wheels are big. There's a lot of brake discs on there, but we don't say, oh, we're going to charge more because it has a Ferrari badge, because it has the Lamborghini badge, because it has the Rolls Royce badge, because it has a Porsche badge. Like you don't charge more just because it's a nicer vehicle. Because now, what if you're working on let's say, I don't know, a Subaru STI with flawless paint, right? It was corrected, polished, it's coated, and you go wash that vehicle. And then you're working on a Ferrari that is completely swirled up, right? Which one do you take care of more? Because which one is in better condition? It is actually the STI, not the Ferrari. So in that case, are you going to charge more to the STI because it's in better condition and you have to be more careful with that paint because that's my phone, because it is flawless versus the Ferrari that's filled with swirls, right? So don't don't just bang on, oh, it's a Ferrari, I could charge more. Nah, don't do that. It's based on the condition of the vehicle, the size of the vehicle, the service you're performing, and the customer's expectation. The badge on the vehicle is not important, at least the way I look at it, right? If you want to deem that, go ahead, but don't be like, oh, he has a Ferrari, so I could charge him more. No, not really. Let's see here. And then last question right here, I'll just answer before I go get a haircut actually, is where do you see yourself in 5 years? So in 5 years, honestly, it's literally doing what I'm doing right now, just at a much larger magnitude, right? Like right now, if, I'm recording, if we're posting like, I think I'd say 2, 4, 6, we probably post like 6 videos per day between Instagram and TikTok, we'd be posting 12 videos per day on Instagram, TikTok across multiple channels. Across multiple accounts. It's being more consistent and uploading, 3 to 5 videos per week per channel that we have. It's maybe having different booths or kind of units to have multiple videos going on at the same time. It's having a bigger media team. It's having a bigger, so it's literally what I'm doing now, but more. And one thing I definitely do want to work on is having a bigger team with the I don't know what to call it yet or how to name, but it's like on the actual coaching side of Detail Groove, like with the online courses and such, like I do want to have an actual robust organization to where one, we do have more detailers coming in through the programs that want to start and grow their business, but then two, have like the absolute best support of coaches, meaning me and like someone else that I like, not me obviously being the head honcho because obviously, but then two is like having coaches as far as like we're gonna hire someone to have like a coach also there that's like always attentive to all the students and like having just the most robust program to help detailers achieve their goal, right? And like again, like SEO for detailers, the main goal of that is just get your website ranked on the first page of Google to generate a consistent flow of qualified leads and sales. So like I'd like to get more detailers through that system and have like a full-time coach there that's just always helping detailers get their website ranked, right? So like we would hire like a SEO person, an SEO expert, to just be there full time, helping detailers at all times with their website, reviewing them, critiquing them, giving them inputs, like holding trainings and such. So like definitely that at a large scale. I would hate to see myself in 5 years and still only have 4 team members, right? I'm not saying size matters, although sometimes it does. But I'm saying like as far as like where we are with the organization and like what we're accomplishing and what we're doing, it's like yes, there's more people because we're having a bigger impact. There's more reach. The YouTube videos are doing much better. The Instagram Reels are doing much better. The TikToks are doing much better. The excuse me. The podcast is growing. We're having more in-person trainings. We have like just what I'm doing now, except more, right? I'd like to be like in a 15,000 square foot facility, not a 3,000 square foot facility. We'd launched the proper care product line. So literally everything that I'm doing right now, just at a larger scale, right? I would love to be at a 10 million per year, 10 million annual revenue within like not within 5 years, but like going towards that road in 5 years. So that's kind of where I see myself literally doing the exact same thing now, just at a larger scale. So I'm going to end it right here because it is 10:53 and my haircut is at 11 a.m. So if you want, again, SEO for Detailers is opening up this Monday, August 1st. So if you want, or if you're interested in that, you can get on the waiting list down below in the YouTube description or on the audio. Just check the show notes. Other than that, you can check everything else like the ultimate guide to start your detailing business, the 8 detailing services you should offer, or whatever else is down there. Check it out. Thank you very much, and I'll talk to you on the next one. Bye-bye.